But Johnny, let's move on into our next topic, and we are taking a look at DC Universe, and we're going to talk about a little bit of Swamp Thing here at the beginning.
A little bit of Swamp Thing.
But before we get into everything, make sure if you have an Apple Podcast iTunes account, or an Apple ID is what they call it, make sure to go to Apple Podcasts and iTunes and give the Rick and Johnny podcast a 5-star rating. It really helps us out, and it gets us into the ear holes of more people, so we'd really appreciate if you can do that. But Johnny, we are going to take a look at DC Universe, the future of it. Is it in jeopardy? But before we do that, we're going to take a step to the side really quick.
It's on Jeopardy?
To talk a little bit about Swamp Thing. I'm just going to ignore everything that you're saying right now. We're taking a look at Swamp Thing because first we'll start
I'm sorry, I all hopped up a Mountain Dew.
First, we will start with the good of everything.
Okay.
Is that we've gotten our first look. It's about a 44-second trailer or teaser at what Swamp Thing is going to look like on the DC Universe app.
Yeah, it looked good.
I want to ask you, well, you say it's going to look good.
No, it looked good when we saw it.
What were your thoughts seeing that on the DC Universe?
It's hard to really make a huge prediction or like.
But there's always first impressions.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm just saying it's hard to do that on like a 10-second clip of a teaser trailer, a true teaser trailer, not the one we got one time that was, here's a full freaking trailer, and we're gonna call it a teaser trailer.
A teaser trailer.
Anyways, I thought it looked good. It so far it was given what they said they were gonna give, and that was like a horror-esque series with Swamp Thing. Yeah, Swamp Thing. I'm sorry.
Swamp Thing.
Getting a Swamp Thing. But yeah, I had no problems with it. I liked it. What it looked like.
The actual Swamp Thing monster looks like to me at least, looked like it was true to the comic.
Yeah, it did. Like you saw
with the red eyes.
To be fair, all it was the water in the swamp was bubbling, and then he rose out of it. It looked horror monster. It looked like the Swamp Thing from the comics. I thought it was cool. Like it's perfect. It had the creepy swamp thing, the water bubbling, the fog lying right above the water.
The creepy swamp thing. Well, yeah, Johnny, that's what it's called, Swamp Thing. I'm joking with you. Here's the bit of bad I want to ask you about, though.
Yeah.
Apparently, there was news that this season, it was originally 13 episodes. It is getting cut short to 10 episodes. And originally, people were like, oh my God, what does this mean for the future of the DC Universe app? Because Warner Brothers is coming out with their own streaming service. And does that mean DC Universe is not going to exist? Here's the updates that we have since then. That the story is the reason why it's going from 13 to 10 is creative differences, is what they're saying. And apparently they filmed everything and are now just rewriting the ending so it can end at episode 10 rather than 13. As you're the one on the podcast out of the two of us that's the most excited, I would say, about this. Does that scare you that it's being cut short from 13 to 10 because of creative differences?
You know what? No. Honestly, now that you told me it's creative differences, I didn't read that part of it. That doesn't necessarily worry me because it could be like, hey, the first guy thought it should be this and stretch it out 13. And it's like, well, there's some of these parts that, as Ricky likes to do, not lately, but in a lot of our movie reviews, he likes to cut things out.
Yeah, let's cut this shit.
And it's like, hey, you know what? There's some of these parts that we don't need in here towards the storyline. Let's just cut those out, and now it can make it down to 3 episodes. Wow, that would be bad.
Make it cut from 13 to 3, guys.
No, cut it down 3 episodes. Yeah. And it's like, okay, we can focus on just this storyline. So it doesn't necessarily worry me. I try and think about, okay, what can be the reasonings for it? And when you say creative differences, the guy that started this part, or the different the writers, and it's like, okay, and we come down to the conclusion, we don't need 13 episodes to tell this story.
The only thing that worries me about it is the pacing. I feel like there's a potential that when this comes out,
Too quick.
that it's going to be very nice paced until we get to the final two episodes, and then it's just going to be like zoom and it's done. It's like, whoa, those last two episodes were not paced like the rest of this.
Yeah.
Like, because it's going to me, I'm assuming it's going to feel like this wasn't the natural ending point, but they needed to tie loose ends quicker than they wanted to in order to get the ending at 10 rather than 13.
That would be the only worry that I would have. But overall, I'm hoping it just has a good storyline and maybe they'll like. And this is their own. I would say no. I never judge anything by its first season because hey, we're just dumping this one out now.
It's just trying to get its footing.
This is trying to get our footing. There's gonna be mistakes. It's like when you first build something,
unless it's like catastrophically bad.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like then it like only lasts the first season, and then okay, no one we're not making a second season.
Yeah.
But you gotta like kind of take first seasons of anything with a grain of salt and say, okay, there's this mistake. Well, you know what? Again, it's the first season of a new concept. Let's go along with that. Because if it's like an old concept they're redoing it and you botch the first season, you kind of knew what you were doing and fucked it up.
Well, it's kind of like...
But this one...
I use Family Guy as an example.
Yes.
Go and watch first season, second season, Stewie Griffin, compared to 13th season, Stewie Griffin. Like, that character alone...
Vastly different.
...has developed over time and is vastly different than what they wanted it to be at the beginning. So, I mean, like, just because it's like that now doesn't mean it's going to be like that season 5.
You can say the same thing about The Simpsons. You can say the same thing about South Park. All of them have changed drastically from first season to middle, like 13, let's say season 13, to see South Park's in their 20-something, almost 30-something season. I don't even know what Simpsons is on at this point. They've been out longer
a very fucking long time.
Yeah, exactly. And you can tell like
and now they've got the mouse ears.
Exactly. Then you can tell like the beginning of the Simpsons. You can tell midpoint, the 90s Simpsons that were good because we are Simpsons. Yeah. And then you got the new Simpsons that I hear aren't that great because I don't have time to watch it anymore.
Yeah, I don't really watch this. When I was a kid, it was always watching them on Sunday nights. Now I don't watch it. It used to be Animation Domination. I don't even know if it's that
as
anymore.
A kid, for me, it was like, oh, it's on every day after school, two times during the afternoon.
That too. It was always the block of Simpsons was in it. It was Simpsons, then followed by Seinfeld.
Oh, actually, there was a Simpsons before that too. So it was Simpsons, and the longest time I remember being Simpsons, Malcolm in the Middle, Simpsons, Seinfeld.
Let's see, 2000s Fox Fox Evening. I'll say.
Oh God.
Block. Let's see. Because right after school they had Fox Kids. That had all like because how it was right after school you had Power Rangers were on Fox, the Troopers were on Fox, Beetleborgs I think were also on Fox.
It was starting around like 5 o'clock, 5:30, 6:30.
And it was then 5 was like the Simpsons, Seinfeld, Malcolm in the Middle, King of the Hill. King of the Hill was first.
Yeah.
Then I think it was Simpsons, then Malcolm in the Middle, then no, scratch that.
I think it was Simpsons twice, no matter what.
And I know it was Simpsons before Seinfeld. Yeah. Because by the time we got to Seinfeld, my parents had come.
I think what swapped out was King of the Hill for a while, then it was Malcolm in the Middle instead. They like dropped King of the Hill and brought in Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah. Because I know King of the Hill was there, and then Simpsons, and then Seinfeld. Yeah. At the end. But let's get into the meat and potatoes of what we actually wanted to talk about here, and that is the DC Universe app. And I am taking this from a Screen Rant article where it says Warner Media is currently in the process of developing streaming service of their own, which will see content from HBO, New Line, WB, and more, all made available in one place. While the streaming wars are in full swing, it may better suit Warner Media to consolidate their services into one offering instead of having HBO Go, DC Universe, and the new streamer all going simultaneously selling separately. the thing I want to ask you is with DC Universe. When we talk about its future, I'm not talking about it failing, because that's what some people were thinking when the Swamp Thing news came out. For you, I am asking, with this new streaming service for Warner Media coming out, do you think we will see the change of DC Universe being combined with that? Because DC Universe right now is TV shows, animated movies, DC movies, and DC Comics as well. Is DC Universe going to stay its own thing, or could we see it combined with the new Warner Media streaming service that they're going to make?
Their benefit might be to actually combine. If you said they're also connected to HBO Go.
Yep.
Their benefit might to be connect all three of those and charge a certain amount, because just think
Kind
about
of like how Disney's
the
doing
streaming.
with
Well,
Hulu.
that's
and
what I was about to
ESPN
bring up.
Plus.
Is the streaming wars are about to? I'd say they're about to commence.
Yeah, no.
Once Disney drops their shit, it's the streaming wars are on. And
Which, funny about that, I learned that after the sale of AT&T, Hulu is jointly owned by Disney and Universal.
really, so I mean,
So they're co-owners of it.
So Disney and Universal can throw both of their shit into one stock pile.
Yeah.
And that's the Hulu's got that build up now if they wanted. And that's the thing is that's like now you kind of like, yeah, you have your streaming service of the DC Universe, but you guys got to start competing with this new one that's they've said everything that's coming out, and they said what they plan on doing. They're supposed to be full-fledged by 2021. Like full throughout the world, right? Okay. I couldn't remember what the year was.
By the end of 2021,
They should be
beginning
everywhere.
of 2022, they'll be global.
They'll be global. They will be, everything will be dropped that they mean to drop for the whole thing. And yeah, so I mean, you guys got to make your plans now, just like Netflix, we talked about before, needs to make their plans.
Which, on that video, we had a commenter say, "Rip Netflix." Basically, Netflix is dead.
If they don't make some major changes, they will be.
Here's what I think might happen with DC Universe.
Yeah.
Because I'm not positive that Warner Media would do this, but I could see them doing this. To where the same thing that Disney's going to do. So, okay, first off, if you buy a subscription to Warner Media, you get, like, they could even do they could do one of two things. They could either say, with a subscription to Warner Media, you get DC Universe and HBO Go also, but you still have to go to those separate locations. Or they can say, hey, we're going to bring those to here. All of your streaming videos are in this one app. Because you think about it, like, let's say all of my watching is on my PlayStation. That's why the one thing, DC Universe, if you are watching right now, how do you make a deal? How do you make a deal with that wretched Xbox before you make a deal with PlayStation? It might be PlayStation's fault. I'm not bringing them into the glory light. It could be their fault too, but that pissed me off, where it's like, why the hell is it on Xbox now and not on PlayStation?
Because you're on the wrong system.
No, that's besides, like, that is a wrong statement. That is just
a
opinion,
right statement.
Speaking out of your ass there. But the thing that I can't help it. It's like, I would love to watch more DC, but I have to literally watch either on my phone or on my tablet. I know I can watch on my computer, but I don't watch on my computer. I can't get it on my PlayStation. I don't even think I can get it on my smart TV in our kitchen.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's like, to me, it's like, that is a huge hole.
You can buy a Chromecast for like $30.
I don't want to pay more money because I can't get it here. No,
I'm
I just won't watch
it's
it.
a $30 investment.
I just won't watch it every single time, and I'll make time to watch it.
There you go.
Right now,
that works too.
Hulu is winning. Hulu's on my
Or an
PlayStation.
HDMI cord.
I can just go ahead and do that. But I mean, well, I'm on my computer while I'm watching. Right. So it's like, I can't watch on my computer if I'm using it at the same time. So it's like, it's weird. And the thing that I think is, there could be something where they say, okay, I'd go with the route of pulling everything in to one, which you might say for DC Universe, oh, that kills the app. Au contraire, my friend. They could then make DC Universe a place for the other stuff that they want. The blog forums and the place that you can go to interact with other DC fans. And they have the forums, the pictures of people at cons, cosplaying, and stuff like that. They could also say the full comic library is on DC Universe still. So if you have a membership to Warner Media's streaming service, you get DC Universe also, and you can get the comics on top of everything that's on the WB streaming
Here's
service.
another way they can set up the app. You know how Netflix, you click on it and you got the profiles? Yeah. DC Universe, HBO Go, whatever the last one was. That's your... Yeah,
Disney's like, shut the fuck up, Johnny. You're giving away our ideas here.
Whatever. I'm not seeing any of the money, so I don't care. But yeah, I mean, just set it up like that. Have it like, okay, you can click on this one, click on this, and this, click on this one. That's one you go to.
The thing I'll ask you though do you think it is? I kind of want to say stupid. Which would you rather do? Would you rather say, all right, we're going to do the same thing Disney does, and for the price of Warner Media, and if you already pay for the DC service, we will switch you over to the Warner service if it's less or the same. If it's more, then obviously
I'd say you could maybe make it so you can also optionally pay for just one of them. It's like, I'm not going to use HBO Go or the other one. I just want to pay for DC Universe.
But I wouldn't do that. I would have the price at a point where it's like you get all three. But that's just me. Even if it's the same price you would get for DC, because if it's the same price you're getting for DC, then you're thinking, wow, I'm getting more for that money. I'm getting more instead of less. People will want to buy it. But what would you do? Would you do what Disney seems like they're going to do and have, yes, you get all of these, but you have to go to these little centers like Disney Plus for this, Nat Geo for this, Hulu for this, or would you take everything and put it into one streaming service, one app?
I would try to put it into one app, but like I said, I would put it up, categorize it basically like the Netflix of your profiles. So this one's going to give you Nat Geographic. This one's going to put you onto Hulu. This one's going to put you onto Disney Plus, and this one's going to put you onto ESPN. So you go to the menu, it's got those like 4 or 5 or whatever amount they're going to have, the 27 and a half. Then 3 or 4 years down the line, there's 27 and a half different apps on there. No, I'm kidding. And you go to I want to watch Disney Plus stuff. Click Disney Plus is right. Then you get all your Disney Plus. Yeah. I would combine it and put it all in one place because people are going to kind of get annoyed. Oh, crap. Well, I want to watch this. I have to go over to Hulu now. And it's not like a lot of, like, if it's like me or you, though, it's going to be like, fuck it. Okay. You're on the gaming system. You hit home. You hit click over one and hit it. That's about it. But with the DC one, both actually Disney and DC, I would actually get, and this is more of a business part of it at that point. To me, I would give both options.
Yeah.
Here's the whole package for this amount. It would be kind of like, it'd be a lower set price than if you paid for all three separately, because it's like, well, like I said, if anyone I'm not going to use any of the Disney, I'm going to use Disney example because they have one extra one I can play around with. Oh, I really just watch sports. I don't really watch the Disney stuff. I don't know who actually says that, but I just watch sports. I'm not going to use it for the other apps. I just want the ESPN. So you just pay for ESPN, or you pay for the whole package deal, and you get all 4 of them. I think it was for this set price. So as in a business model, I'd have it separate or together.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they're not going to, like how I said earlier, it's not like they're not going to have it to where you can't be separate because...
Yeah, no.
It's, the one I'm thinking of is like the guy who's a guy 50 plus years old, doesn't have kids. I just want to watch sports.
Exactly.
I like Disney. Remember them from when I was younger, but let's be honest.
I'm not going to pay for that.
I'm not going to watch it. I have no kids, so I'm not going to watch that stuff. Or I don't care about Nat Geo.
Yeah. Oh, that's the point I was going to try and make too, is that would also deter people because I don't want to pay for the whole package when I only going to watch this. So
So
That's where I was trying to get with that.
I'll ask you this here at the very end. What do you think will be the future of the DC Universe app? Is it going to be similar to like it is, where everything DC is on this app, comics, TV, movies, and their forum stuff? Or will we see it where the movies and everything go over to Warner Media, or some of the movies and TV go over to Warner Media, either or, and it's just the comics and stuff that are left on DC Universe?
I would hope they keep it all where it is right now.
Or does everything just go to Warner Media and they just kill the DC Universe app?
I would hope they go with the first one. It helps you categorize your stuff. The fans that already have it, and I'm going to say fans because I got no better word for it. Plus, they are fans. Know where they want to go. They already have the thing.
Yeah.
It would kind of suck to kind of like, oh, cut it off. Hey, you have a subscription to Warner Media, though. It's like, yeah, but I knew where all my stuff was at. Yeah. It might even like ruin your queue then, or whatever. Or Netflix calls it a list now. It would ruin your list. It's stuff like that. So it's like, I would hope that Warner Media would think, okay, let's keep these at 3 separate. Honestly, let's eventually think of an app to combine all together, or at least just say, hey, we got a package that you kind of get all 3, but you are going to have to go to separate apps for those. At least then it's like, hey, I have all 3 subscription. Let's go.
I am hoping that they keep it how it is and just change it slightly, because I want all my DC stuff on DC Universe.
Exactly.
However, I do feel like they're going to consolidate. The only thing for me is, what does that mean for the DC comics on DC's like comics?
That might just become like a Comixology then.
Well, and that's the thing. Comixology, I believe, has a deal with Marvel. I think you have to pay a little bit more, but you get like the full Marvel catalog.
I didn't use my Comixology very much.
I'm just going to look up, because we've got comics.
It sounds bad for a comic book guy. I didn't use my Comixology much.
MVP's got a Comixology for us.
But I had my own and I didn't use it enough.
Yeah, like for example,
I like that paper.
Yeah, that's it. Like if I look at graphic novels on Comixology, Killing Joke, I can't borrow. It's a wish list. Long Halloween wish list. But like Batman Volume 1 Court of Owls, or Batman Year 1, or like Batman Volume 1 I Am Gotham from 2016, those are available on Comixology through Unlimited. Or if I go to the DC Universe app really quick, I'm going to see if they've got the Killing Joke on here. Let's see. Hit my little search bar. Batman the Killing Joke. Nope. Oh, my tablet did that dumb thing that I hate. I hate when it keeps the keyboard up, so it blocks half your screen. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
I don't see it, but it's probably here. I see a ton of different comics. So, I mean, yeah, there's a lot more DC, obviously, on the DC app than you would get on Comixology. But this is where you guys come in. Let us know what you think down below in that comment section. What do you think the future of the DC Universe app is? Will it all be the same and it'll be just changed like little bits here and there? Or are all of these TV series going to go to the new Warner app when that thing drops? Let us know what you guys are thinking.